add server, and I browse. Sorry about that. I forget to share my screen. And here he's gonna show me all the DCs that I can add. I have DC2, so I clicked OK. And as you can see, I have one DHCP now, but I have two DHCP inside. This DHCP here and the local DHCP that we were configuring before. So I have the DHCP of DCX2 that is here, and DHCP that I'm having here. I have the role assigned to both. So this is the DHCP DCX2. And I just add the second server in the same console management. So I will be able to centralize the configuration for both. Now I have this server, first one, see it? And this server is the second one. This one is the one that we were configuring before. So I have Rio, Tokyo, and this one is the new one where I have nothing yet. It's this one, okay? The address 10 that is named DCX2. Is it clear for everyone? Can we go forward or no? The same thing. This is why I don't know how to work with you guys, seriously. I'm starting hating it because I don't know where you are, you got it, you didn't get it. You don't just damn talk at all. And it's starting playing on my nerves a little bit because you are adult and you are big people. When somebody asks you a question, you just say yes or no. But sometimes I feel just I talk to a few of them, right? Toyesh and Davinder and just Karan, sometimes they answer. The others are completely in another planet or something. And this starting making me a little bit nervous, right? Because I don't know how I progress with you, go forward, no, I don't know, right? So I will keep going forward and it's up to you, it's on you. New scope, so I'm gonna create new scope on DCX2 next, and this is, I'm gonna call it split next. And I will create here something from 1 to, I'm gonna take 20, I already have 10 here. 20 and tell 20 0 0 200, for example. Okay, 200 and click next, and I'll not do any exclusion, anything. I'll just click next and next, and no scoop options for now, right? Next and finish. And here's my scoop that I can enable. Of course, it will not distribute or serve any area. It's just a scoop because I don't have any router going here to this side or whatever. But if I right click here and go to advanced, you see that I have an option called split scope. Ta-da. And if I click next, so I can add with which server I want to split this scope. I can have several here, right? I can have many. So I will add a server and browse, same thing. So I'm gonna add the second server here. This is the second server, DCX2. Okay, here we go. Next, the scope IP address specified is already in use. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? Host DHCP IPv4 address server, it's 10, yeah. It's already in use. I don't have any 20. Already in use. I don't have 20. Back. We'll try. But this is weird. I don't have 20. How he did find out that they have 20 in there? 20. Come on. Make me dream. Fresh. Fresh. Whatever. Let's delete it. I don't know why he said we already have it when it's already in use. I don't know. Weird. New scope. Next. Split. And let's take another thing here. 192.168.10. 192.168.10. Before. And yeah, no exclusion for now. Whatever, next. next and finish. And here's my scoop. Should be able to split it. Ah, sorry. I know why he said that. Sorry about that. Sorry. A little bit. I'm working already in DCX2, so it's not DCX2 that I need to add. I need to add the first one. I was in, psychologically, I'm working in PDCX2, and I thought I'm configuring this from PDCX2. So here I need to add the PDCX1, of course, right? So this, and I would choose this one here. There you go. Now next. Sorry about that, because I was all mixed. I'm configuring in this PDCX1, but under DCX2. So one, I will have to add this second one because I'm here. I need to add the second one. Second one should be this one. But when I put 20, I configured here and I added the second one, this one. So this is why he told me that the IP was in the news, because it's in use here. We can configure both in the same, both splits in the same machine. Okay, so I'm here. I need to add the second one, that is PDCX1. Sorry about that. And when I click next, you see that we have a wonderful thing here. It's the percentage. Okay, and those are the exclusions. So I can play with the percentage, and you see that I can give percentage, for example, to the first one. This is the host, and add the DHCP server. So this one is the host. I can give him, for example, 50-50, and they just split it on half. Or I can give this one 80% of addresses, and this one is 20. And you see that when I move, he moved the addresses of the exclusion. See, those are the exclusions, right? So this one, if he take, for example, 50% of the addresses, the exclusion on this one, on DCX2, will be from 128 till 254. And in the additional one, it's this one, the second one, the exclusion will be from 1 to 127. If I give 100%, you see that this one is excluded completely here. There's no exclusion, and this one is excluding everything. If I give 0%, so now this one doesn't have an exclusion, and this one is excluding everything, right? There's no scoop in there. So if we give 50-50, we're going to split it on half exactly. We're going to click next. And the delay in the DHCP answer, this is an interesting question here, option here. How the addresses will be distributed at first. So we can put more priority to one server compared to another one. So this is my servers, right? And here I have from 1 to 120, for example. And here I have from 120, 121 to 254. Just an example, right? So this is DHCP1 and this is DHCP2, and they're going to distribute addresses to clients. And there's many clients that are going to ask addresses one after the other one. Those delays, I can come here and they can say, hey, you answer each 10 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds, for example, or 1000 milliseconds, that are going to be 1 second. And I will let this one to 0. So when a request is sent, so when they receive a broadcast, both, this one, he will take 100 milliseconds to answer, and this one will answer directly. So in that case, what I'm doing, I'm giving advantages to this one to distribute his addresses first. After, when they are finished, this one will answer. All right. So I can give some more advantages to the other one. So this one will distribute his addresses faster than this one. Or this one, he will distribute his addresses faster than this one. Be careful, it's on milliseconds. So I can take, for example, 200 milliseconds here, and I will have a delay on the first one. So the first one will not distribute his addresses as fast as this one. Okay, as fast as this one. So when I click next, this is some resume or review, and successful close. Look at what's gonna happen. This is my scope here, right? This is my scope, and I don't have it here. I just configured the split here. Now, if I refresh and refresh, and let's open it again, and here is the split. Here's the other half. See it? It's still enabled in a disabled because I didn't activate the scope. So if I activate, it's gonna activate. I refresh here and activate. Should be activated from the other side, but no worry. All right. So you see now, here we go. Now this one had the exclusion from 100 to 127 automatically, and this one have the exclusion from 128 to 254 automatically. Okay, we just configured in one side, and he configured it in both sides. Let's do it again one more time just for practicing. All right. So if I right click here, I will add a new scope, and now I will do it as a reverse. I will create it here, and this one will be the second server. Split 2. Next, I don't know which one is dead here. Okay, let's take the 20001, our first whatever, and 20, 255, 255, 254. I'm taking all the range of the 20. Right, I will not touch here, nothing. I can even do scope options if I need, right? For example, the default gateway will be 2000, 200, just an address around the one. Same DNS, same whatever. Here we go. All right, so here's my scope of 20 something, right? Now we'll configure a split scope from here to the other machine DCX1. Right click, I will go to advanced split scope. Next, I will choose the other machine. Now be careful, I will not do the same mistake. I'm on PDC1, so I need to add the second server here. I will browse and find DCX2. Here's DCX2, okay. Okay, here's DCX2, and the original is PDCX1 here, and I will add this one to him on the split scope, and I can choose, for example, whatever percentage I want to give. If I need some delays, for example, here, right, 1000, so each second, the other one will distribute each second, and one address on each second. The other one will just distribute instantly when you save something. All right, now it's configured. You see how it's very easy. Now we just refresh here, and you will find the other half of the other scope. Here is it. See, I will just right click and activate. And if we check the exclusions, we're gonna find exactly the exclusions that we did in there. So see, it's excluding from one hand. Oh gosh, yeah. Damn it. Sorry. It's always the server and the Windows 10. I'm pretty sure the other Windows 10 disappeared here. Here we go. It's always these two machines. I don't know what is happening with them, but we'll wipe them for next week and install new ones. But we should finish the DHCP today. So the only thing we need to do now is the failover, right? So the next one is failover. And I just put it one screenshot to show you from where to go and configure it. And after inside, it's very intuitive and simple. Even the configuration of the failover. So you have how to go and configure something on a failover, and we'll explain what is the differences between split and the failover. So the failover is kind of a support that they're gonna work in the same scope in the same time. It will not be splitted, but one gonna act when someone gonna fail. If one server fail, the other one will continue working. And even if it doesn't fail, we can give him also kind of percentage how he can help and support the other one. So it's kind of backup, DHCP backup. So they will work both in the same scope. Here they are split in that scope. In the failover, they will both have the scope and they will manage how to work with in the same time. And we're gonna see it. I have a merge, of course, that I need to cancel. So it's the last thing. We're gonna do a failover, right? By the way, I can work from this one just to save time here. So if I go to DCX2 and open the DHCP here, I can add the other server. So I will add PD61 when he boot. See, it's stuck like this because the 7 is not didn't boot yet. So no matter which server we're gonna work from, now you see he booted, and I will not wait for it. I will just not yet. The service didn't run yet. Look like. All right. Sorry about that. You see that it's not my fault at all. You are watching on live, and my machines sometimes get crazy and they just start. I don't know why. Should be a logical explanation in the universe of Bill Gates about this, but I don't know what is it. Okay. Here you go. Now you see that I can see all the rest here because the machine booted. I don't care. I'm gonna just continue on DCX2. It's the same thing. Configuring everything from here or from here, it's the same thing because I have both computer in one console. Okay, so we did the split 2 here, and we were checking the exclusion, and you see that this one is excluded from 128 till the top. You see, from 128 here till the top. And this one have the reverse exclusion of that from 1 to 127 to 55 to 55. You see, he really excluded in the middle. He took 50% here and 50% here. Okay, so we are done with the split, whatever. IPv4. I'm gonna create a new scope and do the failover here. So the failover, let's create it in this machine and add the second one. So I will create new scope, next, and I will name it fail 1 because we're gonna do two different ways. Let's say this one is 70.0.0.0 1 to 70.0.0 254. Okay, class A. I can take all of it, right? I can take all of it. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. 255 255. Next, can have some exclusion if I want, for example, 70.0.0.1 till 70.0.0.10. I can have my scoop options, whatever. I will let it like this. We will not waste our time with scoop options. We already know those things, how they work. Okay, so I have some scoop here and deactivate. All right, I can, let's go to the, nope. I'll remove binding. So once you have that blue stuff here, what you can do, you can activate it back and replace the binding. It's just a glitch, right? There you go. Now it's green, you see. So I have the scope. And if I right click here, you see that I have configure failover. So the split scope is on advanced here, and configure failover is right here. Okay. If I do configure failover in the root, you see here, configure failover, it will give me all the scoops that they are available inside, and he tell me, okay, you want to failover who? And I can choose multiple. I can say, okay, I want to failover this and this, for example, at the same time, and they will be, those scopes, they will be supported by both in the same time, okay? I will not do that. I will just take the failover for this one at first. Here we go. So by default is this one. I will select it, right? Select all, next. And the partner server, who's the partner server? Is PDC1, right? So add a server and I can choose PDC1. This is my partner. And you see that I have an option that it's great here, reuse existing failover. Well, it's great because we never ever configured the failover before, so we don't have any template, right? Any template. But you're gonna see when we're gonna do it the second time, this one we will be able to check it and check it. Next, and here is some interesting options here. So the relationship name, it's DCX2 to PDCX1. I can change the name of the relationship if I want, right? But I will let it the name of my computers. So DCX2 origin.com dash PDCX1. So from my machine and this machine. Maximum client lead time. We'll need to explain this first. So I have the two options. I have load balancing and host standby. Load balancing, I can balance the percentage of the addresses that they will distribute on this scoop by themselves. I can put 50% on this one, 30%, but there's no exclusion here. They will just manage, and one gonna take 50% of the request, and the other one gonna take 50% of the request, right? And I can say that between this 50%, I can state switch over the interval from the partner on 1 hour by default. I can put it 5 minutes. So if there is any request, so here, because the partners, they will always send requests to each others, and they will always update themselves what was being assigned, not, right? So there will be a traffic in between. And if one will not hear from the other one on 5 minutes, he will be the local server. So you're gonna switch, you're gonna replace it. So something is wrong with the other one after 5 minutes, okay? And maximum client lead time that he's gonna wait till he's gonna give to the other one after, you see, leading time. We have a leader here and we have the other partner, right? So maximum client lead time, I can reverse this information from this time here. I can put some time of, you're gonna lead maximum 10 minutes, for example, or 2 hours or 1 hour, and after is the other who's gonna be a leader, right? So maximum lead time for each one, and we're gonna balance between the two, and I can even secure it with a password in between. So the request will be signed here, put in some password, right? This is message authentication. So if I disable it, there's no more authentication. It's more security, having more security between when they communicate. So the messages will be signed here. And I click next and finish. And here we go. See, successful, 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 close. And it's the same thing that's gonna happen here. If I'm gonna refresh, and refresh here. And you're gonna see that now I have the scoop existing in both. I didn't configure fail one here, right? I configured just here, but you can see that I have fail one right here now. And you see, it's the same exclusion. It's completely different from the split, right? So you see here, they didn't split it or whatever. Now they keep communicating, and we give time who is leading, who is not leading, who is in charge of how many addresses. Okay, you take 50%, take 50%. If you don't hear from the leader in 5 minutes, you take the leading, right? And if everything keep leading, you keep leading for 1 hour and give the leadership to the other one, so he will be able to distribute a little bit of his 50%. And once 1 hour pass, he will give up the leading to this one, and he will distribute his 5%, and so go on. But all this, every time, if one of another one, he didn't hear for 5 minutes from the leader, he will switch to his own, he will become a leader, right? So one is leading for 1 hour, the other one is checking if the leader is doing his job. For 5 minutes, he didn't get any answer, and 5 minutes pass, he will take the leadership. So in this way, even if we have any problem or troubleshooting or whatever happened, an accident or something, our DHCP will always work. The scoop will always work because we have another machine. Okay, we have another machine that it's kind of backup of the other one. But the scoop is the scoop. It's not splitted. They will just negotiate the addresses, okay? But they will work in rotation if you want, something like that. Okay, we have a second one different than the rotation. It's the second option. Let's do failover 2. So I'm gonna create a scoop here, new scoop. This one will be fail 2. And it works a little bit different than the fail 1. So this one will be 80.001 till 80.00200, something like that. Next, we can put some exclusions here if I want, for example, 001 till 80.00, whatever, 60. Just an example, right? Next, 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 next. And I'm good with my scope. You see, I had the blue thing again. I can deactivate and reactivate. Maybe it's gonna go. There you go, it worked. If it didn't work when you reactivate, you just remove the binding, activate it, and put the binding back, and it's done. Okay. Okay, so I have my scoop here. I have my scoop here, and I'm gonna configure a failover, but different than the first one. Okay, so I would choose 80 here. Next, I will choose my partner, and look at this, huh? I already have a template here, right? Because I already did a failover. So if I let this checked and choose the partner here, I will configure directly this failover like I configured the 70. Okay, so if I click next here, he will tell me choose the relationship partner, blah blah blah, and he already gave me the first configuration. I choose 5 minutes. You see, so I already have another one, but I don't want to do that. I want to do a different one, right? A different one, different option. So I will uncheck it and keep going. And here, instead of load balancing, I will say standby, right? I have the same thing. So the leadership, I have some time for that leadership, and hold standby configured. Role of partner server is a standby or he's the active. So now I can choose which one gonna be the active, which one gonna help the other. All right. Let's say the role of the partner, my partner here, he will be on standby. Address reserved for standby. I can give some percentage here, 20%, something like that. And I will switch over. Now, he will lead for 1 hour and he will keep leading for 1 hour. It's the active one, right? This one will be always the leader till he's gonna finish all his addresses. Just in case the 60 minutes passes and I didn't have an answer, or 2 minutes passes, I didn't have an answer, puff, this one, he will jump up and be active. But there will be no rotation directly. It's more advantageous, this one, to the active one. This one is active, this one is just waiting. Something happened, all right, I already have 20% of addresses in reserve that I can distribute, since this one is out of order or something like that, all right? But he will not rotate with him. We will check the leading time, okay, leading time. Everything is okay with this one, time finished. He's the active one, so he will get again to the leading time, and so on and so on. But this one is observing and surveilling this guy, how is he working by sending request, right? And if in 2 minutes he didn't hear from this guy, he will become the active one. And we can also authenticate the messages in between with some password here for more security. And if I click next, and this one will be same, it's a failover, but a standby mode, right? Not balancing, but on standby mode. So close. Now you see the 80 doesn't exist here, but if I'm gonna refresh, here is my 80, okay? So you see it's the same scoop, it's the same exclusion, they didn't split or something, but it's just a matter of how they work. How they work is a little bit, I can deconfigure the failover, right? So I can delete it from here, the failover. That's it. Okay, guys, if you have any question about this, please feel free to ask your question, or otherwise I'm gonna go let you take your lunch and I will give you some work to do. And yeah, tomorrow we're gonna see See the nick teaming. It's very easy. One little part that is nick teaming. And by the way, when is the exam in this module? It's all glitching between all the classrooms that I'm having at once. TBB. So in the syllabus, the 13 February. So we have 5 and 6. Yeah, that's good. And after 12 and 13 here. So we're gonna do tomorrow we're gonna do the nick teaming and the delay. And I will let you practice in the lab here. And I will give you an assignment also today about all this DHCP stuff. And I will give you the correction of that assignment tomorrow, because you need to submit it before 4 p.m. today, right? So tomorrow I will give you, tomorrow we're going to do nick teaming. We still have 2 topics, by the way, in this module, the nick teaming and the delay. That we're going to do both tomorrow, right? So we're going to finish all the module. The delay is math. We're going to count the size of the packets and the time that we can have as a delay from one location to another router. And the nick teaming is nothing but adding load balancing between network cards. So we can have, for example, a server that he have 4 network cards, and they will all act one IP address connected to a switch, right? We're going to see how we can do that here. Like, for example, 4 or 2. So if one is dead physically, the other ones still get the work, right? But they work in one IP address. So this is nick teaming that we're gonna see tomorrow, guys. And the load balancing, I told you we're gonna do math, milliseconds and megabytes and megabits and kilobits. So we'll learn some formula, easy ones, right? And we will try to understand the logic behind the delays that we can have in transmission delay. So we have a whole topic of tomorrow, delay, and I will give you all the labs to play with on the 12 here. 12, we will see nothing new. We will just get ready for the exam on the 13 here. Of course, the exam will be 3 quizzes online. You have 3 quizzes. We're gonna have multiple different questions, right? Multiple choice questions, whatever questions. And I'm telling you here, if Tina don't give on the 30, guys, if Tina don't give me any excuse for somebody and let him to be online on the 30, if you are not on the ground, you will not pass your exam. So the exam is in the classroom here. Okay, guys? So be careful. If you are in Brampton or whatever, solve the problem right now. Talk to Tina. If Tina gonna send me an email and tell me that that guy can stay online because of no matter what, right? It's not my business. It's personal. It's between you and Tina, right? But if you have any problem or whatever, solve it with Tina as soon as possible to be able to be online on the exam here. Because I told you, if Tina doesn't confirm that someone have the right to be online on the exam, it will not be online. The exam will be just hosted by Joban in the classroom. They will not even have Zoom that day, right? So we'll just unlock the quizzes one by one, give you the password, you do the quizzes, and he will give you the PDF. You do your lab, you submit your report for the rest of the day, and you leave. That's it. This is the exam. Okay, so if for any reason, I repeat again, for any reason you see that on the 30 you will not be able to make it, and it's personal, I don't need to know about it, right? It's between you and Tina. Talk to the administration, and I need a confirmation to let you be online on the 13 here. Otherwise, you need to be on the classroom or you will not be able to pass your exam. Okay, guys, I hope it's clear for everybody. Please, if you have any more further question about these things and whatever, talk to Tina. Okay, so I hope I'm gonna see you all there that day. Okay, yeah, so 2 topics to finish the module. They're gonna be tomorrow. Now, what I'm gonna ask you to do today, it's simple and easy. You already have the machines of the last lab, etc. So you're gonna do the reverse of me. Yeah, You're gonna pay the price. See, me last week, I struggled with 3 routers. Right? So struggled with 3 routers and a lot of static route. And what I'm gonna ask you to do today is to take your already 2 routers configured and you added the 3rd router to finish the DHCP lab here. So I will share it with you. And I will ask you to configure DHCP relay agent. And tomorrow I will give you a little lab about the failover and stuff. Show. Okay, now you have the whole lab. You have the 2nd part of the lab. And I will also give you the assignment. So the assignment is theory questions. So we'll have work to do, guys, in this afternoon. Okay. Here you go. You have this one assignment. So you have some questions here. How do you install a DHCP service? What is the function of the DHCP server? Blah, 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 blah. It's just 12, right? So what is meant by static routing? What command will you in Windows computer in order to display the routing table? It's a little assignment reviewing what we did. Some sample questions we have here, right? Very simple ones, just reviewing. And the lab is this one. Yes, it's this one, DHCP lab. So I repeat again, you don't need to install all your machines in the lab. You already have them, the half of the lab, the big part, the biggest part of the lab, you already have it. Here's the lab. Okay, last time you did this. Where is the first lab? Static root lab, here we go. Okay, so this is what you did last time, right? So you had this first subnet and 2nd subnet and 3rd subnet. Now you're gonna extend to another one here. See? So you have another subnet here on the 3rd switch. Okay, here you had the client last time, so you put the client on S3. Now I don't need that. I will need S4. You see, this one should be a router. Okay, should be a router, and you're gonna have an S4. And the client need to move between S4 and S3 and S2 and S1, and he will need to have a DHCP relay agent everywhere, here and here and here. So every time you're gonna just change the switch of the client, you will get an address from a new subnet. And in this one here, the 4th switch, you choose whatever you want, right? Put 10.0.0.0. It's not subnetting, it's just subnet. Take any subnet. And you should ping a server. This one should ping the server S1 from there. Tomorrow we're gonna do NIC teaming and we're gonna do the math behind the delay transmission. And I will give you another lab with failover and split server and whatever. But today you just play with the assignment and the lab, the part of the lab. Job and nobody leave till he show you that he finished the submission in the lab, right? If you didn't finish the lab today, it's okay, but you need to work till 4 p.m. If you didn't finish the lab today, if you didn't submit today, first submit the assignment. This is the thing that you need to submit today, and the rest of the time work in the lab. If you finish it, good, submit it. If you didn't finish, you just submit it tomorrow, right? So you still have time for that. You have any question? Okay, thanks. Thank you. I have some answers here saying no. We're good to go. So I'm gonna let you work, but take a break, right? Take 1 hour. You deserve 1 hour to go to eat and take rest, right? So it's 12:21 here. take till 1:30, for example, right? 1 hour and 10 minutes, it's okay. Take 1 hour, take a rest, relax, eat something, get some energy, get back to the class, start doing the assignment, finish the assignment, submit it today, okay? After that, work in the lab. Did you finish? It's just an extension of the last lab, guys, right? So you don't need to do everything. Just add in one extra router, one extra switch, one extra network, and do the DHCP relay agent everywhere. Of course, you need also more two static everywhere. More one static everywhere in each router. You need to configure one extra static router everywhere for that new zone that you're gonna create. And that's it. If you take a screenshot of that, you build up your report. If you finish today, you submit it. If you didn't finish, you see that at 4 p.m. you stop, right? So if you finish at 4, you're good, submit it. If you didn't finish till 4, you let it till tomorrow, you're gonna continue tomorrow. Tomorrow gonna be NIC teaming. That is very, very easy to configure it. Gonna be like in 20 minutes, we're gonna explain that and configure it. It's pretty easy to do it. Multiple network cards all working under the same network card, like virtualized in one. And the delay transmission is very easy also once you get the logic behind the math, and that's it. It's just seconds and kilobits and stuff. Segmentation. We're going to study that segmentation, but this is calculus to do there, right? So we're going to calculate some simple mathematical formula, and I will give you exercises about that. Okay, guys. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. If you need anything, till 4 p.m. I'm still online, of course, in Kaysera. You just contact me. Okay, guys. Take care.